was actually Peter Ray who was working for Whelan's Ground Spread at the time, and we were looking at how we were going to spread product on the farm and what we could do. And he had picked up that I was a bit more keen on knowing this stuff than most people, and he asked somebody whether it was all right to come along to this training course, and they said, yeah, bring them along. And it was at Fantar Lodge in Katikati, and I went down there and I was just like pig and shit. It was great. And it was interesting straight away though, like my learning and inquiry had already bypassed a whole lot of people that were working already in amongst those sorts of things. Yeah. So it was a great way to get really, really involved. And yeah, the people that I met, John Perham and that, then facilitated the ability for me to get decent soil tests and do all sorts of crazy testing that could show or sort of define some of the things I was seeing on the farm. And that was the critical thing. It's like, as we've said in the earlier chapters, oh, but this piece of ground grew 50% more. Yeah, so what? Who cares?
No one cared.
No one cares. Well, I do, because that's our farm and I'm the one responsible for it. And and this gave me an opportunity to find out.
So how far do you go to get to Brookside?
Well, Brookside's in Ohio, and basically they run courses and they've got consultants all over the world. So basically what you end up doing is just drying and packing the soils and that to send them off to the States and go over there. So I've been over to the conference 3 times. There's been a couple of events here, and they're there if you need them, basically. And the range of services is really the critical part. And as we've moved into more extensive soil testing, it's been absolutely critical. I mean, the thing is that with us doing a total test and giving an assay of your soil, some of the other labs are just starting to click onto this, but it's been an absolutely, like, without that information, you're down the Googler. It's like having the biggest term deposit bank account of minerals and you didn't even know you had it.
Wow. So when you were learning these things, what was the biggest aha moment?
Oh, look, there were so many, because I got to ask people and people that actually knew. And, so, well, how does that get made? Oh, well, that's made of this and that's made of that. And then we use this extraction to get that. Well, why does that work with this? And go, because this type of extraction goes with that. And so it got to be, there's a lot of really technical shit in it. And my simplifier goes, why didn't you say it like this?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really simple. So, when people say, oh, what's this total test? Look, it's just a chemical melt, like a mining assay. It's just telling you how much is in the soil, how much you can utilise it if you can get the soil to function properly. Oh, well, that's simple. Why doesn't anyone else do that? Same thing, the great simplifier.
So did Dr. Albrecht form the basis of Brookside's work, or did they just reference his work?
No, he was he was instrumental with them at the start to set that whole process up. I'm not sure how much, whether it was just a technical instrumental but he laid the foundation about the testing methodologies and the protocols and and that side of it. So, huge part of the whole process.
He wrote, read books and study nature. If they don't agree, throw away the books.
Yeah.
Gee, that's powerful, isn't it?
Well, it is from a scientist.
Yeah.
I've just watched Roots So Deep, which is a compilation of trials in the US on pasture management, and there was, I think, nearly 10 or a dozen scientists involved. What a breath of fresh air to see people that are actually just involved in their own aspects of science, and yet they'd formed a group together to go through and show how a certain method of farming is helping the whole environment, the farmer's profitability and the whole. And this is where Albrecht came from, because what he did is he would go to places where things grew exceptionally well, and he would test the soil. And then he would bring those information back and go, oh, okay, these soils like this. Now, if I want to grow that plant, I have to modify if I'm going to grow it in a different place. He would learn, well, you'll have to do this, this, this to modify the soil to grow that plant.